Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday. Made it to the end of the week. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum here with your early morning intuitive guidance, giving you some things to think about and feel into and discuss and just generally wrap your brain around. So we're going to give it a minute here as people start to pop in. I actually jumped on a few minutes early just because here I was, so why not, right? Got to grab a drink here. I hope you have some good things on your agenda for this weekend. I'm actually supposed to have a brainstorming meeting tomorrow, but it looks as though the universe is going to have a brainstorm and we're supposed to get freezing rain. So we'll see if it happens or if we end up on Zoom or what's going to be the deal. But yeah, so, and Diane and I are going to mosey to Oshkosh today to put some flowers at her family mausoleum and then grab a quick meal. So lots of things going on. And I dug deep into the closet today to find something that was warm enough for today, since I think it's -2 at the moment. But I then, as I put it on, I thought, hey, I've got a necklace I like to wear with this. So I got to show you my cool, isn't that fun? And it's a tanzanite on the top, and then I'm not sure what it's glass, I think, fused glass of some kind. But yeah, I haven't worn this in years, but I thought, I know I've got that in there somewhere. So that was kind of fun to dig that out and reminisce. And then there's from our first person. We'll have to see who's popped on. Glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. But I have to tell you, I love today's card. Love it, love it. Good morning, Cindy. Glad you are here. Welcome. You're my first guest today. So, love this card. Love it, love it, love it. I had seen it as I was shuffling the deck, and I thought, I don't think I've ever seen that one. The color is what caught my attention. So I stopped and took a peek at it, and I thought, ooh, that's a cool card. So then I shuffled. Good morning, Barb. Glad you are here. Welcome. And picked the card, or the card picked me, whatever, and I hate that particular card. So I'm arguing with the universe about, really? Do we got to do this card today? So muscle tested, and it said, no, didn't have to pick that card. And so I picked this one, the pink one, because it just grabbed me. Good morning, Brenda. Welcome. Glad you are here. Was thinking about you earlier this morning because I saw that Kayleen had posted another invitation to this year's trip to Isla Mujeres. So I'm not going this year, but that made me think of all the wonderful women I met on the 2 trips that I did do. So glad you're here today. Glad you're here today. And again, when specific people are here, I always feel like it means this message is for you. This message is for you. And I know, given where you live, you're going to like this message anyway, just because. So we have the Sacred Forest deck again by Denise Lynn. And our card for today is Reflecting Pool, Stillness. So here's the image. That fuchsia is what caught my attention. I just thought that was so pretty. But notice, when you look at her reflection, what's being reflected? A swan. A swan. I thought, and there's actually an artist. I'm trying to remember what her name is. But my sister, oh my God, maybe 30 years ago, became enamored with this particular artist's work and bought several of her paintings. And one of them was very much like this. It showed an indigenous man kneeling on a rock looking into the water, and a wolf is looking back at him. And then there's another one, I think it's called Thunder Gods, where it's clearly a rainstorm on the plains, and instead of thunderclouds, it's buffalo racing across the sky. So pretty cool. So Reflecting Pool, Stillness. If you have the card deck, it is number 33. Number 33. So let's do some breathing. Nice deep breath in and out. I love that first breath. In and out. Just allowing the settling, the stillness. One more. In and out. Awesome. Let's see what it has to say. Reflecting Pool, Stillness. As you stand on the soft moss at the edge of the forest pool, you can see your own reflection. The soft breeze ripples the surface. Your image wavers and shifts, only to return as the air becomes still. In the quietude of this moment, you tap into the internal source of your power. You watch as your reflected image transforms into the highest form of you. What beauty, what grace. Yep, I just thought that was a very cool card. So it says, in stillness, your power emerges. Tap into your inner sacred witness to discover the dwelling place of your soul. In profound peace and stillness, you can discover the truth of your being. If you are in pain, go into the stillness until you find the source. Resist the temptation to indulge in feelings of overwhelm, urgency, and emergency. I just thought that part was so powerful, because what is it indicating? Welcome to the two of you who have popped on since I started here. What it's indicating is that we have choice. Good morning, Catherine. Welcome. We have choice about what we're going to pay attention to and what we focus on expands. So, what this is suggesting is go within, listen within. Our bodies are amazing. Good morning, Mel. Glad you're here. They give us feedback all the time, but it's usually pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. It's not like it screams at us, usually, until we wait too long, until we ignore the message as a whisper, and then we get yelled at. Good morning, Abigail. Glad you're here. So we want to pay attention when it's a whisper. We want to frequently visit the stillness within so as to hear the message when it's the whisper and respond appropriately so that the universe doesn't have to take out the ball-peen hammer, right? So resist the temptation to indulge in feelings of overwhelm, urgency, and emergency. Be kind of practical and pragmatic about it. There is always a higher truth. Seek it out. Good morning, Beth. There is always a higher truth. Seek it out. So, and sometimes when we seek it out, we're not as practical and pragmatic as we'd like to be. Sometimes I'm like, what the hell, universe? But asking the question opens the door. Good morning, Nancy. Glad you're here. And don't be concerned if you ask the question and all you get is crickets. It's a muscle. We have to train it up. The more we practice, the better it gets. There was something the other day, I can't remember what it was, but I just had this intuitive hit about it. So I spoke the intuitive hit, and immediately that's what unfolded, which was out of my control. And people were kind of like, how the hell did you know that? Intuitive sense, just an intuitive sense that I actually spoke. Sometimes I keep my mouth shut about that stuff and just let it unfold. But I figured I might as well speak it, and it unfolded. Not a skill. I mean, we've all got this skill. We just need to practice and hone it, right? So there's always a higher truth. Seek it out. Your soul loves what is real and honest. Good morning, Gwen. Glad you're here. In quietude, the truth emerges. Move past the bustle and chatter of life into sweet stillness. How many people do you know, you might be you, who can't stand the silence? They walk into a room and instantly turn the TV on. They've got noise all the time. I'm not one of those people. I'm a quiet person. Being in the car, I don't want the radio on. I want silence. So do you seek silence, or do you seek to avoid silence? If you seek to avoid, maybe make that an experiment. Practice with it. Be present for the silence. What do you have for me today? What do you want me to know? Ask some questions. Allow the chaos of the outer world to roll off your back the way water rolls off the back of a duck. Surrender to it. Seek solitude to hear the voice of spirit, and serenity will follow. The spirit of the reflecting pool, I'll show the card for those of you who are just hopping on. Notice the reflection is a swan. I just think that's such a cool card. In silence, you'll find the dwelling place of your soul. Take time to move into quietude, and you'll uncover a vast store of insight emerging within you. In ongoing situations in your life, hold back, take time to reflect before responding. We're going to be posting another really quick common ground conversations between me and Jonille, because each of us had an opportunity yesterday where there was a conversation happening via text message, and the different outcomes that we got. Mine turned out pretty well, hers did not. And we're making the point that when we're communicating with others, text really isn't the greatest thing. As soon as you get that sense of, this could run amok, they could read this in a way that's not going to be conducive to building a good relationship. Shift to the phone, shift to a Zoom, shift to face. Don't keep going with the text messaging, because it ain't likely to go well. So, but with regard to my interaction, it was with my brother. There was a point in there early on where I knew to take a pause. I knew to step into the reflecting pool, into the stillness, really tune into what is my heart and soul saying about this, and what's the best way to respond that is likely to open doors instead of close doors. And it actually went pretty well, which was cool. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, is I'd like you to spend some time in stillness today. It could be 5 minutes. Maybe you set the timer on your phone, especially if you're a person who tends to avoid that quiet. 5 minutes. We can do anything for 5 minutes, right? So take 5 minutes. Be in stillness. Maybe you know, if you have a noisy household, you might need to go sit in your car. But just be present for the stillness. What do you have for me? What am I noticing? What am I meant to learn here? Why am I even doing this? Because Bonnie said so. Just practice a bit. See what you notice in the stillness. To me, the stillness is such a rich invitation to inner knowing that I love being in stillness. So that's what we're practicing today. Have an awesome Friday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are.